Sarah's military instincts flared inside her 8-month pregnant body. When Senator Harrison's wallet fell, a photo slipped out, her deceased commander's smiling face. Why would this politician possess a picture of Collins, who died on the battlefield? The late afternoon shift at the Veterans Medical Center Cafe dragged on, the fluorescent lights humming quietly overhead. Sarah Mitchell adjusted her position behind the counter, one hand supporting her aching lower back, the other protectively cradling her swollen belly. At 45, this pregnancy had been unexpected but welcome, a chance at the family life she'd missed during her 15 years in the Marine Corps. Her eyes scanned the nearly empty cafe, a habit from her military days. Always assess, always be aware. She'd taken this part-time job not just for the extra income, but because working at the VMC gave her priority access to specialized prenatal care. With her service-connected disabilities, she needed every advantage for herself and her baby. Commander Margaret Collins would have approved of this strategy. The thought of her former commanding officer brought a familiar pang of grief. Collins had been more than a superior. She'd been a mentor, guiding Sarah through 3 deployments in Afghanistan before that final, fateful mission. Now, 8 months pregnant and fighting bureaucracy instead of enemies, Sarah was facing a new battle, securing military-dependent healthcare benefits for her unborn child. The VA kept rejecting her paperwork, claiming some obscure technicality. She'd appeal again tomorrow. Marines never surrender, especially not for their children. The bell chimed as the cafe door opened. Sarah straightened instinctively, military posture kicking in despite her pregnancy. The man who entered carried himself with unmistakable authority. Expensive suit, commanding presence, calculating eyes that took in everything without revealing anything. Senator James Harrison, Sarah whispered to herself, recognizing him from news broadcasts. The powerful Armed Services Committee member, himself a former Marine colonel, was visiting the medical center today. Something about a press opportunity regarding veteran health care. When he approached the counter, he barely glanced at her, his attention focused on his ringing phone. Black coffee, no sugar, he ordered without looking up, his voice carrying the clipped tone of someone accustomed to instant obedience. Sarah nodded, the movement automatic after years of military hierarchy. As she prepared his coffee, she watched him from the corner of her eye. His posture, the way he stood, definitely military trained, even after years in politics. When she returned with his drink, he reached for his wallet. The leather billfold slipped from his fingers, landing open on the counter. A photograph fluttered out. Sarah's breath caught. Those familiar eyes, that confident smile. Commander Margaret Collins, in her dress blues. The same photo that had been displayed at Collins' memorial service 8 years ago. Why do you have this? The words burst from her lips before she could stop herself. Senator Harrison's head snapped up, truly seeing her for the first time. His eyes narrowed, then widened slightly as they took in her pregnant form and the veteran's pin on her uniform. Sarah turned the photograph toward him. This is Commander Collins, my commanding officer. She died in Afghanistan 8 years ago. Harrison's expression hardened, all emotion disappearing behind a practiced political mask. You're mistaken, he said coldly, snatching the photograph and tucking it away. I'm not, Sarah insisted, her hands trembling. I served under her for 3 tours. Why do you have her picture? The senator placed a $20 bill on the counter. Keep the change, he said, already turning away. Before Sarah could say another word, he was gone, sliding into a black SUV waiting outside. Sarah's mind raced. Why would Harrison carry Collins' photo? And why would he lie about it? That night, Sarah sat at her small kitchen table, laptop open, one hand absently rubbing her belly as the baby kicked. Senator James Harrison's face filled the screen. Decorated war hero, respected legislator, chairman of the Veterans Affairs Subcommittee. What aren't you telling me about Collins, Senator? She murmured, scrolling through article after article. A pattern emerged that made her blood run cold. Harrison had consistently blocked legislation aimed at expanding healthcare benefits for veterans with combat-related conditions, the very benefits Sarah desperately needed for herself and her child. More disturbing, Harrison had served in Afghanistan during the same period as Collins. There were photos of them at the same forward operating base, though none together. The timeline matched her final mission, Operation Sandstorm. The baby kicked hard, as if sensing her rising anxiety. Sarah winced, taking a deep breath. "It's okay, little Marine," she whispered, using her nickname for her unborn daughter. "Mommy's just doing some recon." She kept digging, finding a news article about a controversial extraction ordered during Operation Sandstorm. The details were classified, but rumors suggested a high-ranking officer had ordered a premature withdrawal, leaving a special operations team exposed. Collins' team. Sarah's hands clenched into fists. Harrison had been the ranking officer in that region. Had he given the order that left Collins and her team vulnerable? Was that why he carried her photo out of guilt? Another document caught her attention. Harrison was currently blocking a bill that would extend military health care benefits to children born after their parents' discharge if that discharge was service-connected. The exact benefits Sarah needed for her baby. This wasn't just about the past anymore. It was about her child's future. She shut the laptop, decision made. Tomorrow, she would confront Harrison at his Senate office. She needed answers about Collins, about the healthcare bill, about everything. The baby kicked again, stronger this time. Sarah placed both hands on her belly. "Don't worry, little one. Marines never leave anyone behind. Not commanders, not comrades, and certainly not their children. Tomorrow we get answers." The imposing marble facade of the Senate office building loomed before Sarah the next morning. She adjusted her maternity dress, navy blue, professional yet comfortable, and straightened her shoulders despite the persistent ache in her lower back. Her service medals, carefully pinned to her overcoat, caught the morning sunlight. "Senator Harrison is not available for unscheduled appointments," the receptionist stated flatly, eyes barely flicking to Sarah's pregnant belly before returning to her computer screen. "Please tell him Sarah Mitchell is here. I serve under Commander Collins in Afghanistan." When the receptionist didn't respond, Sarah added, "I can wait all day if necessary. This baby and I aren't going anywhere." The receptionist sighed, clearly unmoved. "Security can escort you out if needed, ma'am. Pregnancy doesn't exempt you from the rules." Sarah felt her military training kick in, assess, adapt, overcome. She spotted a group of veterans being led on a tour, likely arranged by their congressman. With practiced ease, she joined their ranks, nodding respectfully to their guide while keeping her pregnant profile partially hidden behind a taller veteran. Her heart pounded as they passed security, but her face remained composed. The old skills never really disappeared. As the group turned toward the cafeteria, Sarah broke away, moving with surprising agility despite her condition. She found the directory, located Harrison's office number, and headed for the elevators, one hand protectively cradling her belly. "Sorry for the subterfuge, little Marine," she whispered. "Sometimes a mission requires unconventional tactics." "Senator Harrison is in a meeting," his aide announced when Sarah appeared at the office door, his young face registering surprise at her pregnant form and the determination in her stance. "Tell him Sarah Mitchell is here about Commander Collins and Operation Sandstorm," she replied, her voice leaving no room for negotiation. The military authority in her tone, honed through years of leading Marines, made the aide hesitate just long enough. The inner door opened and Senator Harrison emerged, his face a perfect mask of political neutrality. Only someone with combat experience would notice the slight tension in his shoulders, the almost imperceptible narrowing of his eyes. "Ms. Mitchell, this is unexpected." He gestured toward his private office. "Please, come in." The door closed behind them with a soft click. Harrison moved behind his desk, a tactical position, Sarah noted, putting a barrier between them. "Why do you have Commander Collins' photograph?" she asked without preamble. Harrison's fingers tapped his desk once before stilling. "Military colleagues keep photos of those they've served with, especially those who made the ultimate sacrifice." "You weren't just colleagues," Sarah countered. "You were the commanding officer who ordered the extraction that left her team exposed." A flicker of something, paying guilt, crossed Harrison's face before disappearing. Military operations are complex. Decisions must be made with the information available at the time. Sarah leaned forward, one hand bracing her back. "You're blocking legislation that would help veterans like me, like my baby." She gestured to her belly. Is that also a complex decision, Senator? Harrison's jaw tightened. The bill has critical flaws that would ultimately hurt more veterans than it helps. Politics isn't combat, Ms. Mitchell. Sometimes the right move isn't the obvious one. Collins would disagree, Sarah said quietly. She always said our duty extends beyond the battlefield. Something dangerous flashed in Harrison's eyes. You don't know everything about Collins or what happened that day. He stood, signaling the end of their meeting. I respect your service, but I have nothing more to say about this matter. Sarah rose with difficulty, her pregnant body protesting. This isn't over, Senator. Not for me, not for my child, and certainly not for Collins. Back home, Sarah sat on her bedroom floor, surrounded by storage boxes she hadn't opened in years. Her fingers trembled as she lifted the lid on the one marked USMC Personal. Inside lay the remnants of her military life. Her folded uniform, medals, dog tags, and a small wooden box Collins had given her after their second tour. For safekeeping, Collins had said, just in case. Sarah had never opened it, respecting her commander's privacy. But now, she carefully lifted the lid. Inside was a Marine Corps Challenge coin, a sealed envelope addressed to James, and a small flash drive. Sarah plugged the drive into her laptop, her breath catching as files appeared on screen. Mission reports, satellite images of Operation Sandstorm, and personal logs. Collins' final entry made Sarah's blood run cold. Harrison received intel about insurgents targeting our position. Instead of reinforcing us, he ordered immediate extraction of all personnel. Intelligence was questionable at best. When I challenged the order, citing our ongoing rescue operation, he cited greater strategic concerns. Higher headquarters is pressuring him about casualties. I fear political ambition is clouding military judgment. The baby kicked sharply, as if responding to Sarah's rising heartbeat. She placed a hand on her belly, trying to steady her breathing. She opened the sealed letter next, eyes widening as she read Collins' words to Harrison. James, if you're reading this, I didn't make it back. We both know your order was wrong, not tactically, but morally. The Marines we left behind deserve better from both of us. I've entrusted evidence of the flawed intelligence to a faithful Marine, not for vengeance, but for accountability. You can still make this right for those who survived. Honor demands nothing less. Sarah carefully folded the letter, understanding washing over her. This wasn't just about a botched mission or a guilty conscience. Harrison carried Collins' photo because she had been more than a subordinate to him. Perhaps a friend, maybe even something deeper. And now, he had the power to help or hinder thousands of veterans and their families. The baby kicked again. Sarah nodded to herself. Tomorrow, we finish this mission, little Marine. For Collins. For all of us. The next morning, Sarah strode to the Senate building's main entrance, wearing her Marine Corps dress blue maternity uniform, specially tailored for her pregnancy. The medals on her chest caught the light, drawing respectful glances from security personnel who waved her through without question. This time, when she reached Harrison's office, his aide immediately recognized her. Senator Harrison is available, Harrison himself interrupted, appearing in the doorway. His eyes widened slightly at Sarah's uniform before he gestured her inside. When the door closed, Sarah placed Collins' challenge coin and letter on his desk. She entrusted these to me. I think she meant for you to have them eventually. Harrison's composed facade cracked as he picked up the coin, his fingers trembling slightly. Margaret always did think ahead, he said softly, using Collins' first name. Why are you really blocking the veterans' health care bill? Sarah asked. Harrison met her gaze directly for the first time. Because it doesn't go far enough. He turned his computer screen toward her, showing a draft of alternative legislation. This version closes the loopholes, provides retroactive coverage, and specifically includes prenatal care for veterans with service-connected conditions. Sarah scanned the document, her military training helping her quickly identify the key differences. Collins was right about me, Harrison admitted, his voice barely audible. Political ambition clouded my judgment once. I've spent 8 years trying to make amends, anonymously supporting families of the Marines we lost, working within the system to create real change. 3 weeks later, Sarah sat in the Senate gallery, watching as Harrison introduced his Comprehensive Veterans Family Health Care Act. His voice carried to the chamber as he dedicated the bill to those who understand that our obligation to service members extends to their families, born and unborn. His eyes briefly met Sarah's across the crowded room, a moment of understanding passing between them. The bill passed with overwhelming support, establishing unprecedented healthcare protections for veterans' children, including those not yet born when their parents left service. As Sarah left the gallery, one hand supporting her belly, she whispered to her unborn daughter, "Commander Collins would be proud. Sometimes justice takes time, little Marine, but it comes to those who fight for it. And we never stop fighting for what's right." 2 months later, Sarah cradled her newborn daughter, Margaret Collins Mitchell, as a Senate aide helped her complete the paperwork for the child's military dependent benefits, the first processed under the new Harrison Act. Senator Harrison stood at a respectful distance, his usually stern face softening at the sight of the infant. "She has a fighter spirit," Sarah said, inviting him closer. "Like her mother, like her namesake," Harrison replied quietly. "Some wounds never fully heal, but they can become bridges to something better. Sometimes the greatest honor we can give the fallen is to ensure their sacrifice creates positive change." If this story touched you, please share your thoughts below. Have you witnessed veterans fighting for their families' health care, or experienced the unique challenges pregnant veterans face? Every comment helps raise awareness about those who serve both country and future generations.